The courtroom fell silent as the divorce was finalized. Vanessa didn't cry. She simply thanked the judge, gathered her documents, and walked away with quiet dignity. For years, she had endured cruel comments from her husband, Eric. When they struggled to have children, Eric blamed her without medical evidence. "You'll never give me a family," he had said during one painful argument. Months later, Vanessa learned that Eric had begun a relationship with her sister. The betrayal ended their marriage. Heartbroken but determined, Vanessa started over in another city. She focused on rebuilding her life and opened a successful event planning business. 2 years later, one of her biggest clients was Kang Hyun-woo, a respected Korean business leader whose family had a complicated past but whose companies now operated legally. Despite the rumors surrounding his influential family, Hyun-woo was known for his calm manner and generosity. Their professional relationship slowly became a friendship. Friendship became love. After many months, they married in a private ceremony. A year later, Vanessa smiled as she looked at the ultrasound photo in her hands. The doctor had wonderful news. Her pregnancy was progressing well. On the same day, Eric attended a family celebration. As he walked into the banquet hall, he froze. Standing beside Hyun-woo was Vanessa. One hand rested gently on her baby bump. Eric stared in disbelief. She's pregnant?" A relative quietly replied. "Yes. And that's not all." Eric frowned. "What do you mean?" The relative took a slow breath. "The man she married is your uncle Hyun-woo." Eric's face turned pale. He suddenly realized that the woman he had once dismissed had built a happy new life. And he had no idea how much had changed. Eric stood frozen. He looked at Vanessa. Then at Hyun-woo. Neither of them showed anger. They simply greeted the guests with quiet smiles. After the event, Eric approached them. "Vanessa." She turned politely. "Hello, Eric." He looked down. "I owe you an apology. For the things I said. And for the way I treated you." Vanessa listened without interrupting. After a long silence, she replied. "Your words hurt me deeply. But I've spent a long time healing." Eric nodded. "I know saying, 'I'm sorry,' can't erase the past." "No," Vanessa answered gently. "It can't. But acknowledging the harm is a meaningful first step." Hyun-woo stood beside her, calm and respectful. He didn't interrupt. He simply supported his wife. Eric hesitated before asking. How are you expecting a baby?" Vanessa smiled softly. "Our fertility challenges during our marriage were never fully understood." She added. "Many couples experience infertility or delayed pregnancy for different medical reasons. It isn't always one person's fault. And it's never fair to blame someone without knowing the facts." Eric lowered his head. "I was wrong. I blamed you instead of facing the uncertainty together." Vanessa nodded. "I hope you've learned from that." Months later, Vanessa gave birth to a healthy baby. Family members gathered to celebrate. Even Eric sent a thoughtful gift with a handwritten note wishing the family well. Vanessa thanked him. Not because the past had disappeared, but because choosing forgiveness allowed her to move forward. One evening, Hyun-woo held the baby while Vanessa watched the sunset. "Do you ever think about everything that happened?" he asked. "Sometimes," she admitted. "But not with bitterness. With gratitude." "For what?" She smiled. "Because the hardest chapter of my life taught me what kindness, respect, and real partnership look like." Hyun-woo squeezed her hand. "And now?" Vanessa looked at their child. "Now we build a home where no one is judged, blamed, or made to feel less than enough." Years later, when people admired their happy family, few knew how much pain had come before. What they saw wasn't a fairy tale. It was the result of healing, accountability, and two people choosing to treat each other with patience and respect. And that became the greatest legacy they could pass on to their child.